Being sick is never fun. You rarely have the energy to get up and are condemned to wherever you rest. Your nose is clogged. You spend hours upon hours of endless boxes of tissues, blowing and blowing to clear it out. The taste of food is gone, replaced with the icky pigment that is stuck in your throat, and the fevers. Heaven forbid. If you're not already warm enough, the aches accompany your heightened temperature only serve to make the next week of your life miserable. Then there are two other who are much more serious illnesses than a common cold. People stuck in hospitals, slowly counting their way to their final days in unhealthy misery as doctors do what they can to ease the suffering. Whatever to end the spectrum you may be on, every single person agrees on one thing. They all want to get better as soon as possible. And all they wish, it seems, is as easy as a simple pill. They all try many different methods. Some get prescriptions from doctors, others try natural remedies, with everyone thinking science will solve it for them. Most forget about the alternative method. The doctor is always willing to take on new patients. He has the excellent track record. But before you make an appointment, there are some things you'll need to prepare for him. As you may be aware, every person has 4 humors, which dictate the behavior of one's body. Red bile controls the sanguine nature, on the social part. One itself, yellow bile, overgrows aggressiveness. Black bile secretes from depression, and the pigment is associated with apathy, or lack of emotion. Some conventional doctors might disagree with this philosophy of medicine, but don't listen to them. For the doctors to determine what's wrong with you, he'll need a sample of each of these. Some are easy to collect. Others will require fortitude. Before starting to gather 4 cups of similar size, the simplest humor is acquired here to red bile. All you need is some blood, although it is enough so that the doctors can examine it, and not just a tiny drop left on some paper because you were clumsy with the paper knife, you see. It'll be such a good gash, or about a needle or two's worth that you choose to draw your own blood, collected in 4 cups. Next is Pilgrim. White Pilgrim's traditional concept is not quite the same as we used to come to identify today. You could still make use of the modern meaning, blow your nose, scrape your throat dry, do whatever it takes to obtain a good amount of that nasty green respiratory mucus. If you blew it on a tissue, you'll have to separate the two. The doctor is very busy and he doesn't have time to sort your pigment of course, disposable piece of paper if he's going to be curing you. It is advisable to collect your pigment while this is the next section, as 2 could be combined with any of those. Hard to separate it if you don't. Yellow bile is connected to the gallbladder, which releases the bile to make the soup in your stomach taste so awful. It's a taste that you're going to have to experience now. Force your body to vomit. It doesn't matter now. What matters is collecting much pure throw-up juice you can get. Scooping it out of the toilet afterwards is a no-go. It is the only sample the doctor gives a leeway, for as he understands, bile is hard to collect. Just put it right into a 3rd cup, and you clean your floors when you're feeling better. Now that you're on the final sample, black bile. It is also known black bile is connected to depression. Tears are not appropriate sample. Something akin to death or rot is what the doctor needs. Most people back out there, but if you really want this illness to be over with, you must follow through and try to make it quick. Expose the part of your skin of an open flame. It should be on your body, as it must die before it's charred, as you cannot cut a piece off and then cook it. Fight off through the pain and smell. Once you have the piece of skin burnt black, remove it and store it in the final cup. Most people burn their stomachs or their love handles, but it's up to you. Now you have your samples for your doctor. All that's left is the visit. During the evening, go to the bedroom. Remove all the form of medical supplies that are not 100% necessary. This includes tissue, vapor rub, water, even cough syrup, anything to help you feel better. If not, then the doctor will see the pitiful cures and just walk out insulted. Clear off the table or shelf as the doctor continues to work at it, and place the lit candle along with the 4 samples into their cups. Now take out a marker, and on the back of either hand, draw the number 8 with a large cup on the top of the bottom, and then put a letter T through it. And as example been provided, anything that resembles the form of advocates you will do. This will only he'll know where to find you. Turn off the lights, draw the curtains, climb into bed, get snugged and wait. There is no one to be with you in this room. During this time, as the night goes on, the symptoms of your illness should take hold, and you'll be dying just to take the 1 throat lozenge or blow your nose into a few tissues. But you must stay in bed and get your rest. At some point you'll drift off into slumber, only to wake up an hour later. As you lie there, the door to the rooms will creak open to reveal a hulking figure stepping out from the darkness. Draped over its shoulders would too be dirty, tattered places of fabric with numerous symbols adorning them. Underneath it will wear an equally tattered coat, stinking like a bulbing swamp of bile and BO. The mask would probably catch you in the eye first. However, it should be recognizable. After all, what all the doctors do during that time. But it's something that seemed off about the mask, and you would have to try your best to remain as calm as you see the nails to try that beaconed mask into place. Sticking out from the back of its skull, it's more protection than yours, and too many people try to rip that mask off, exposing them to their diseases, which also he makes sure it doesn't happen again. The doctor will close the door behind him, give you a short glance, then wander off to the desk. He will take a seat and open this bag off, pulling out any different and strange tools out to test your humors with. At this time the doctor will be running through his tests to see where a few things you should be aware as far as testing goes. Firstly, sinking the asthma that he gives you off only grew worse as he conjures altogether mixtures and compounds alike. But the truth is that you soon realize that the asthma has paralyzed your body, and you can only move your body like you could attempt to shout out at this is terrified being that you led you in your room, or even try to run away screaming. But your body will not respond. This is also a response to the more dangerous actions of some of the clients. Now, if you did not collect all 4 samples for him, say if you couldn't produce any vomit, or you were too terrified to burn your skin, tried to cut a short change to him, the doctor will simply approach your bed, gather some samples himself. You may think at first, this is fine, and he is a doctor. He knows how to properly take some black bile, but you'll be regretting those thoughts in the instant hammer and chisel are breaking open your rib cage, so that you can access whatever organ he needs. Even if he creates your cure from doing this, it's unlikely you'll survive long enough to take it. There are 2 other conditions that you should be aware of. If you have a blood disease, once he tests your red bile, the doctor will simply stand, slowly walk towards you with his beacon mask, poking your nose, and will state, "You have bad blood." You may not understand, but you won't have any time to respond before a series of gashes are sliced into the arms and legs from the scalpel, draining for you every drop of that crimson fluid you have. If you are physically healthy, however, and the illness you wish for him to cure is mental, then after a few hours of testing, the doctor will rise suddenly from his chair, perplexed before storming over to demanding to know what is wrong with you. The Mazima will listen for a minute, giving you the time to tell him what mental illness you wish to be cured of. But whatever your answer is, the doctor will not understand, and as the mesmesia overtakes you once again, he will produce the medical saw from his bag, and your mesmesia is no aesthetic, even by the way, and even if you will be left frozen and suffering as he examines your brain, patched his worked hands, lined with scars like Frankenstein monster. Now, if you do not fall under any of those previously mentioned conditions, then after some time, you may see the doctor take the flame from the candle and dip it into liquid mixture. In the darkness, you must remain patient until a hand protrudes, holding a pill near your mouth. This is it, the miracle pill. You've been waiting for it. the mesmeria will dissipate. He will ask you to sit up and do so, and take the pill from his hand and then swallow it. He will not care your reaction for the pill. The louder you scream, the more certain he will be at his working. You will feel the literal fire as he added the compound coursing through your bloodstream, burning and scorching every inch of your body, cleansing any alignments and tidal wave of pain you could find. The pain of the pill will last for about 30 minutes. It is crucial that you survive this. You survive the connection of the black bile. You can do this. Do not faint. You must remain awake for the pill to work. Otherwise, without an active consciousness to keep yourself from dying, the strength from the pill on your body will push your heart out beyond its reasonable limits. You will go into cardiac arrest and the doctor will not help you. He already did everything he could for your disease. Now you must be the one to take a change in your life. But if you persevere, the doctor will be triumph. For when you make your through the other side of the misery, it will vanish. The doctor will be gone, the cups will be cleaned out, you will fall into a well-needed rest, and you will awaken the next day feeling healthier than ever before. In fact, the miracle pill will keep you clean of all disease for the next 6 months. Now you can move on with your day and live its life to the fullest. Oh, and one last note. You should alignment before your next terminal nature. The doctor will still cure you. Not only that, but he could permanently cure you of all diseases. Give the rest of the nature's life to enjoy. But to save you from death's grasp comes at a heavy price. For when you do his pass to the world, he will be a bag in hand, ready to perform some experiments on your soul.